Now let's bring in Simon Zwane from the Road Traffic Management Corporation just to share his reaction to these statistics that we released a little bit earlier today by Mbalula. Mr. Zwane, good afternoon. Welcome to today here on eNCA. Thank you very much for your time. While there is a decline year on year, now we got 1,451 people who have died on our roads. Some people will argue that's very much unacceptably high. What's your view as the RTMC?
Oh, yes, Breton. Good afternoon to you and the viewers. It is still unacceptably high a number. We still have a lot of work to do, particularly in arresting the rate of pedestrian fatalities in the country. We've seen some improvement in relation to minibus vehicles that are involved in crashes during this time of the year. They've dropped from around 10% to 7% for this year. That reflects work that is also done by the industry itself, but is improved compliance with the rules of the road from particularly long-distance taxi drivers. There's better cooperation, but we've seen also better holiday planning by many of the motorists. So they didn't leave at the same time, and they heeded the messages that we sent out that people must travel during when there's sufficient light. And yes, there were those circumstances where it was not always possible to do that. Those people found themselves traveling at night. But we saw better planning of travel, because it seemed that motorists were staggering their travel periods, going to holidays and coming back. Coming back, we saw at least 3 or 4 periods where we had peak travel on the roads, which indicated that people were not doing what they normally do, of traveling all at the same time, which also assisted in reducing the number of fatalities of crashes on the roads. But the visibility was there for everyone to see. There was visibility on all the roads. We even used helicopters to go and monitor that everything was going according to plan. And all of those efforts, I think they've paid off this time. But there's still a lot of work to be done, particularly around pedestrians.
Yes, and what can be done there? I mean, the minister expressing as well the view that it's unacceptable that so many people are dying, those who are walking, who are using the roads as pedestrians. What are your thoughts?
I think we have a case study that we must go and study and understand. Because in KwaZulu-Natal, around the area of Port Shepstone, they managed to reduce their pedestrian fatalities quite drastically. They had a program there that was focusing strongly on removing pedestrians from the roads when traveling had reached its peak. And that program assisted also in reducing crime and all that. We think we need to study what is it that they were doing there. Yeah. Because KZN benefited from that largely, that we see that in KZN, for the first time, they also have recorded no increase in fact, a decline in road fatalities. That's partly because of the pedestrian program that they had. So we need to look at that and see if we cannot replicate that in other provinces.
I think there's going to be lessons there. It's good to see that there is one aspect in one part of the country where pedestrian deaths were reduced because of a focus. But the other aspect, as we conclude, Mr. Zwane, is about schooling. I mean, shouldn't children, right at the early age of school, at primary school, be taught, for example, a simple basic thing, how to cross a road, where to cross a road, where not to cross a road? I mean, that's just one aspect I think maybe education can play. Do you think it could assist you as the road authorities?
It can greatly assist, Braden. We've been having engagements with the Department of Basic Education to include road safety in the school curriculum. I think they've made, last year they did make an announcement that they will be doing that in the coming years. So yeah, we think we are on course with them on that one, because finally we have found each other, and they've developed learning material that includes road safety. So our idea was that road safety must be taught right up to matric, but with the idea that learners who will be entering matric should then be able to write their learner licenses, so that at grade 11 they have their learner licenses already and all of that. So that was the idea we had, and we've had these discussions with them, and education is also keen to work with us on that.
Thank you very much for your time this afternoon, for your initial reaction. That's Simon Zwane speaking on behalf of the Road Traffic Management Corporation.